So let's look at the new developing emerging theory. And that theory is being championed by a brilliant neurologist by the name of Dr. Dale Bredesen. And he's beginning to show, or he showed in his fantastic book, you need to read it, it's called The End of Alzheimer's Disease. And basically what he's saying is that the brain is the brain itself that turns on a program, almost like a suicide self-destruct program that focuses on shutting down the synapses, those connections between neurons and those networks. So the brain shuts down methodologically, sequentially, almost in a cold-hearted, cold-blooded approach. The brain is kind of almost like hibernating. It's shutting itself down in response to signals from its environment showing that maybe there's excess of toxins, so it's trying to protect itself from that. Maybe there's excess sugar, again, trying to protect itself from that. Or maybe there's so much deficiency, it's not getting enough of the nutrients, be they ketone bodies or be they glucose, that it needs to function properly. And he's saying that, well, this inflow, the input is certainly not going to do it for me. So I'm going to shut myself down so I can, I can protect myself again. So it could be that, it could be toxins, it could be a combination of different things, it could be blood flow issues and so on and so forth. But whatever it is, you should read my report saying about the dirty dozen, which talks about the 12 different areas that can act as signals, either individually or cumulatively to the brain, to tell the brain that it's time to shut down. And so that's what the new theory of Alzheimer's disease is. And he's been able to prove conclusively in his lab that this is what happens when the brain, when there's a certain amount of, let's say, danger that the brain senses in the atmosphere. It causes the brain to initiate that self-destruct, that self-shutdown, self-suicide program that shuts it down. The good thing is that this makes a lot more sense to people like me. First of all, the whole amyloid thing, living in a third world country, dealing with brain disorders like Alzheimer's disease in a third world country. Well, what are we going to do? We're going to inject them with nanites to destroy the plaques? Of course not. So we just have to focus on the basics, the fundamentals, what the brain needs, how the brain functions, and how to protect the brain. And that's what we had been doing. And we had limited success, but yes, there was improvement. But this really sheds light on what the problem is and helps us to be more, shall we say, targeted in our approach. And I think this is very important, again, for people who don't have access to like $56,000 a year for a drug like Aduhem, which has been shown not to be effective at all in the first place. And it even shows some toxicity and some very bad side effects. But this makes sense to people like us who deal with these brain disorders every day. It shows us, it gives us the tools that it helps us look for tools that will help reverse that brain suicide self-destruct program and bring it back on track to functioning and growing synapses and growing neurons. So that's the whole idea. I hope you take a chance to look at that book, The End of Alzheimer's Disease, and of course, download our free report, which is the Dirty Dozen. So thanks for listening. Take care. Bye.